So you guys are probably wondering what the heck a Kern Emerger is after all those fish being caught on the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie a Kern Emerger for you. And the Kern Emerger is such a unique fly that you can fish it in a variety of techniques. And you can fish it underneath a dry fly. You can fish it by itself right in the surface film. You can dead drift it underneath an indicator. You can check nymph it, as you saw on the show. So you only need a couple of things. You need some mousse, some black thread, some copper wire, real thin wire, some peacock herl, and some synthetic dubbing or any kind of colored dubbing that you want to use. And for the wing casing, the magic is the razor foam. Tools, all you need is a hair stacker and some scissors. And that's basically all the materials that you need. I'm going to tie right now on a 5212 Tiemco. It's a size 10. And I'm tying it on a size 10 so that we can see what I'm doing here. And so what I'm going to start off doing is just doing a base thread here. I'm starting off in the middle here. And I'm going to tie this all the way down to the hook shank, to the bend of the hook. And nice thread base there. I'm going to clip this off. And then I'm going to take some mousse, and this is going to be used for the tail. So I'm going to get all these ends on this hair here so that it's even. So I'm going to put it into the hair stacker, and I mash this down like this, and that gets all those points real nice and even. And I just pull this off, and this comes out real nice and even. And so that makes a nice tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this so that it's about the same size as the hook shank, but about 1/2 size longer than that even. And I measured that off pretty good there. And I'm just going to measure that off and then tie that down. Pretty simple. It's a pretty simple tie. It's basically a hare's ear recipe, but I use different materials. I'm going to tie that back, measure that off. Tail looks really good in proportion there. I'm going to cut this off. And so there I have my tail. Pretty simple. And I'm going to take some wire, copper wire here. And it's pretty thin wire. It's going to be for my ribbing, and that's pretty simple. I'm just going to tie that on. Have that going off the back there. All the way back to the back, almost to where the moose hair is coming out. So I've got a nice ribbing sticking off there. Next material is peacock herl. And peacock makes a great body. It's real shiny. It's used in a lot of flies. I like it. It creates a nice sparkle on the body, and it's realistic. So I'm tying that all the way back to where that moose hair is as well. And then I'm going to come forward almost a little past halfway. And I'm going to take this peacock and I'm going to wrap it forward here. And these rotary vices are great for this. And I'm just kind of coming back almost to where my thread is hanging down there. If I want to build the body up, I can double it up there. Build the body up just a little bit. It looks great. and then tie that off. And clip that off. And one of the reasons why I like to use the dubbing, the synthetic dubbing that I'm about to put on, is it's real easy to use. And this ribbing here, I like to use this ribbing because it's real durable. It helps the fly and the peacock stay on there. You can use it on a few fish. It won't come apart real easily. And all I did was just wrap that forward. That looks great. And now the real magic of the Kern Emerger is this foam. And it's pretty thin. It's called razor foam. It's great. And the piece I use, I like to tie it on there, but I like to make it about the same size as the body. So I'll measure that off, make sure this is about the same size as the body. It looks pretty darn close. And I'm going to tie that back, and this is going to be the wing casing. I'm going to bring that back forward here in a second. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pull this forward. So let's put that on there real good. Just kind of measuring it out. That looks really nice. Proportionately, it looks good. So I've got my wing casing on there. I'm going to pull that forward after I put my dubbing on. And I do dubbing really quickly. I don't even put any wax on or anything. I just put it right on the thread. And I like to spin it on there. That looks pretty good. And just basically just wrap that on there. Make a nice thorax. That looks pretty good. I might even put a little bit more on there. Make it look real buggy. Not too much, but just a little bit more. Now this dubbing, you can choose a variety of different colors to use with your Kern Emergers. I've seen people use pinks, pink dubbing. I've used yellow dubbing. It just depends on what you are doing or what you want to use. Looking pretty good there. Oh, let's redo that. Here we go. Looks good. So I'm tying the wing casing down. That looks great. Looking pretty buggy, looking good. I'm going to cut off that foam. And I'm going to cover up that foam as I go. That looks great. And then basically just whip finish. And that thing is done. I like to pull out the dubbing a little bit to give it some legs. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to cut it out a little bit like this. Gives it a real buggy look. That looks pretty good, and boy, I like to pull that back just a little bit, maybe cut it off a little bit. And there you have it, the Kern Emerger. A great fly to use.